This is the number one reason why most people fail the social media marketing agency. It's all to do with the framework of their mindset. This is the most important thing because you need to have the fundamentals to start creating content, start doing cold calls, to start printing that cash that you've always wanted. And I'm going to show you how to do this and why you need to get your mindset right before you can start printing cash. Because you need to build up the foundation. You need to build up the identity. You need to be the person that you need to be before you start. Because you're not going to make any money having an identity of being a broke bum. You are going to make nothing. With your identity is being limited to someone who's a brokey, someone who's dumb, someone who's a fucking degenerate. You're going to be broke for the rest of your life, all because you had the wrong identity, you had the wrong frame of mind, and you had the wrong mindset to begin with. So understanding this is the core belief systems that you need to have for your mindset, for how you can start to print cash for the rest of your life. So I'm going to break it down into 3 simple steps from how you can start from being that fucking broke bum who doesn't know how to make anything online, all the way to someone who's printing 6-7 figures. So yeah, let's just start this. So it all comes down to your foundation, your mindset. So who are you? What are you? Who do you believe you are? What do you want to be? What's that dream person that you've always wanted to be? You need to think, what are the habits that he would have? What is the mindset he would have? What is a lifestyle? What do I have in my life? How many cars do I have? How many women do I have? What identity am I? Where am I located? What type of car do you have? You got to spec it out. You've got to have your dream lifestyle. Even if it's a fucking having a vineyard all the way in New York, being one of those people who is worth millions, if not billions of dollars. This is all very, very important because no one's going to A, pay attention to you if you don't see yourself as that person. B, you've got to get out of your hometown as soon as fucking possible. Because as soon as you start to create your true identity, because no one's going to tell you this shit, because everyone wants you to be stuck in a fucking 9 to 5. But as soon as you start creating that true identity, you just got to start living out the lifestyle and start living out what he does day to day. You got to understand that. What do I do? How do I do it? What do I do after that? What other aspects do I have in my life? Do I fight? Do I play chess? Do I also have a personal brand? Do I speak very well? Am I a mathematician? You've got to have this all allocated and understand this before you actually start creating your character. Life is a fucking video game. Not a lot of people actually understand this. You are literally given anything in the world. You can be having that at your fingertips at any age, all because you wanted it more than what someone else did. So you got to understand that your mindset is to begin with. So we got to figure out, okay, so we have this character that you've created. You have this rich millionaire playboy who prints money through SMMA, because I know it's all through social media marketing because you wouldn't be watching this video. So here's a fucking millionaire through social media marketing. He's got a bit of a playboy. He's got a James Bond lifestyle, because that is the lifestyle that you want and that you need. Because James Bond is a class, stoic, charismatic character. He says whatever the fuck that he wants, wherever he wants, but yet he's slow and seductive enough to pull you into his essence and take control of the frame while also seeing what you need to do, how he needs to portray, what he needs to say, and where he needs to go. His mission is the most important thing at the end of the day. You've got to do this through your character. I'm using James Bond as an example. Because I know a lot of you people fucking love that lifestyle. That's fucking a lot of my boys. You got to get over it. Fucking suck shit. But yeah, lifestyle. So once you get that identity, what am I going to do to become him? What is my sales mindset? What is my marketing mindset? These should be two very, very similar things, because sales and marketing aren't too far apart, but marketing is an exponential version of what sales is. You've got to understand that. Sales is linear, marketing is exponential. That's why we get paid the big bucks. They get paid based on commission. People fucking pay us. We take majority of it. We fucking spend it on whatever the fuck we want, whether it's cars, fucking houses, crypto, even for some of you fucking retards out there who don't know what the fuck you're doing in your portfolio. Fucking, or what, you fucking blow 10 grand on like a fucking dinner. Who gives a shit? Basically, they pay us the big bucks because we understand their target audience. We very much understand how to get people from not knowing where they want to go, all the way up to becoming that dream customer who will give them the money at any cost necessary. These are the prime targets that we will create through our marketing. This is what you do through the lifestyle. This is when you actually start using your identity and being like, okay, let's backpedal. So A, how do I get a customer? B, how do I get them to stay? B, how do I get them to absolutely spend a shit ton of money with me? You can all do this. So it's A plus B equals C. Okay, so we've got this. Now we need to go from C, backtrack. What is the steps to do A and B? How can I implement A and B into my life? How can I learn the psychology? How can I get an understanding? What mindset do I need to have to get people to give me their money without needing not too much, besides maybe content, maybe a referral, maybe a cold call? What do you need? And then we backtrack and build it up. And you've got to take into consideration the most important thing is mindset, because mindset will make and break you at the end of the day. And that's why we built up that character, because you're building up to be that character. You want that life to be the way you want it to be. How are you building that? What are you doing to build that? What attributes does that character have? What weapons does he have? What unfair advantages does he also have? So that's where we build that up. That's why we have the mindset. But also, the most important thing is actually building it up from even further from there. This is where we got to understand the basics of the universal laws. This is understanding that stuff comes in positive and negative. So the more positive you experience, the world's going to give you back a negative reaction. The more positive that you're trying to put in, the more negative it's going to put out. Or the more negative you put in, you got to keep on pushing through that negative to then get an exponential reward of positive. That's just the basic laws of the universe. Once you understand the universal laws, this will open your mind to literally everything. So understanding the basic laws of cause and effect, also understanding equal and opposite force. These, and also the law of gestation. These are the most important rules that you need to know. Because the rule of gestation is basically you literally plant down a seed and then you just keep on watering it. You keep on watering it. Then they start to like you. You add more and more to it. This is what we're doing through our ads. This is how we nurture through our ads and through our content. So you basically water down the plant. You just keep on providing more and more water, a bit more fertilizer. You start to nurture them more and more. You start to give that plant that more of that perfect environment to grow. That's what we use by the law of gestation. You also got to take into account the law of cause and effect. What gets caused one way has an equal and opposite reaction as an effect, which also has an equal and opposite reaction. So basically, let's just say I was to tap this. That me tapping it caused a sound. So then once you understand the law and cause and effect, pretty much I do something, then it has an effect afterwards. Always the effect is delayed. Even if it doesn't seem like that, the effect is always delayed by a little bit. That's why you don't expect a lot of people to be making fucking millions, if not billions of dollars within their first year of business, because they have to keep on compounding that law. So yeah, that's also another thing. So don't get disheartened if you don't make your first 10 grand within your first month of business, because that's just life. You're just putting in the reps, you're getting all that groundwork, you're getting all that foundation ready. And also another thing, the rule of equal and opposite reaction, aka equal and opposite reaction. So when there's a force that gets put in one direction, there has to be an equal or opposite force in another direction. So let's just say if when you're driving a car, when you slightly move the car, the wheels on all of it, because it's a force, because it's got four wheels, change because the steering wheels change. It's equal. The force is equal in the same direction. That's what you're doing with your business. So let's just say if I was to make up a cold call, I'll call them up, speak to them. Let's just say I'll have a bit more of a friendly banter, so then I get a better understanding of him. Then once you do from that, you just you're like his mate. That's probably the best way to put it. You're your customer's mate. You want the best for them. That's why you are given this position to move them from point A to point B in the most successful way possible. So you've got to understand that your role and your position is to help move these people forward in a position that they are not a professional in, because you are the professional. You will be the professional by the end of this. Once you understand everything I have to teach, once you understand my coaching program, join below. It is the fucking best thing on the planet. There is no better thing out there. It is the best thing. You will learn so much. You will get access to information that honestly feels illegal to know. And I will show you the ethical way I've used some of my information that I have access to legally. So yeah, it is the best thing. I could not suggest it more. I am the best social media marketing coach. So this is the reason why you people fail. You guys don't understand how the universe works. You guys just think, hey, I boil a kettle. Hey, then it gets hot. Then it gets my water hot. Then I pour it in a cup. Then I start pouring milk to make myself a cup of coffee. Because the reaction has less time and less force to get to point A to point B, which is why the cause and effect is so small. That's why you have to wait such a small period of time when it comes to business, especially because you guys will end up be dealing in 4 to 6 figure deals. Like, fuck, some fucking customers of mine go from fucking 30K a month. So, suck shit. But yeah, so you need to understand the mindset, but you also need to understand the universal laws. This is the most important thing, because if you don't understand this, you will be disheartened. You will not have the right mindset of being like, I'm putting in all this effort, I'm not getting any rewards, because you don't understand what is going on. You don't understand how the universe works. So that is the most important thing to understand, is how these work. Then they can reflect in your mindset. So you got to keep on pushing, keep on pushing. It's like, do you know anyone who's been successful within 12 months? I know no one. I don't know about you guys, but you've got to understand that this all comes back down to mindset. You also need to have a mindset of get rich or die trying, because no one else out there is going to tell you this. This is the crucible for what you need to have to become rich. You need to have a shit situation, which is not. You need to have a situation that's bad, but also a situation that's not so good. So if you're too busy stuck in that middle area of it's good enough, I can sit here, or my life is way too good, I'm fucking working fucking 3 jobs like a fucking slave, and you're just like, my life is great, I work fucking 60 to 90 hours a week, yay, I only get paid 10 grand a month. Fuck that, I can get paid that while I shit. I could get paid that while I shit. Fuck that. So you need to understand that. If your life is so good, like let's just say that person who thinks they are living the dream can make 10 grand a month working 60 to 90 hours a week, because that's enough for them to live off, and they're not in such a bad spot where they're struggling. They will never be successful. That's just how the world works. Sorry, that's gonna fucking hurt you guys, but that's just how the world works. If you're in some fucking corporate job, you're sitting there thinking, oh, my life has never been better. I'm just finished an underpaid intern. Fuck yeah, my life is great. You are a slave. You gotta come to terms with that. You're just not willing to come to terms with that because you studied, you spent all the money when you could have been learning from the real world. You could have been learning the real world skills. You could be understanding the blueprint of how to print money from the fucking sky, like your fucking government does. Your government doesn't give a fuck when they spend money. They fucking blow it on useless shit. Like the Australian government just blew, I believe, like, what is it, like $12 million on like 40 fucking machete bins? Because they don't give a fuck about your money. Money is just money. So you've got to understand this is the mindset that you need to have. A mindset of also abundance. Money is an infinite source. Money is literally cash flow. Cash comes in, then it flows out. Your bank account is just a reserve that you hold it in and out. That's also how the people up the top see it. And I can't really say too much because otherwise I will not be in the best position. But if you want to learn more of this stuff, join my coaching program down below. This is honestly the framework that you need to build up that character and that identity, to have the right mindset to start your social media marketing agency. But even if your mindset is right, you still fail if you don't know what's working in the market right now. That's exactly why I'm going to show you in the next video. So make sure to click on the video you see on the screen and sign up for my coaching program, because it is the best coaching program on the planet. So yeah, click the video that you see on your screen.